A Belmont barbershop standing the test of time. Frank O'Keefe has been working in this very room for the past 52 years, but has been doing what he calls an honest trade for even longer.
When I took up the apprenticeship in '66, the boss said to me, he said, "You'll make an honest living out of this, you'll never be rich. If you really wanted to break out and bloody set up a bloody franchise or something, you might make millions, some people do, but all I've wanted is just to make a decent bloody living." My dad, he was a sawmiller and he ran a family sawmill. And he got crook one time, and one of his best mates who was in the brass band with him, because he was the bandmaster guitarist, was the local barber, a bloke called Claude Saxby. Anyhow, I just left school at age 15, and Claude come up to cut my dad's hair because he was crook, and so Claude's cutting dad's hair in the kitchen, and I wanted him for a drink of water. Claude says to me, "Dad," he says, "what's Frank's doing now he's left school?" And my dad says, "Hasn't got a clue, doesn't know what he wants to do. Says he wants to be a graphic artist," but he said, "I don't think there's much call for that up here in Taree." Anyhow, he said, "Well, I'm looking for an apprentice." And Dad said, "He'll be there Monday." That was it.
The art of barbering dates back to 6000 BC in ancient Egypt, and throughout the centuries, styles and fashion may have come and gone, but the stories have stood the test of time. And Frank's had a front row seat.
There was a time the Harlem Globetrotters came to Belmont. A busload of bloody big, tall Negro gentlemen got out of the bus and they started wandering all over the town to get a hamburger or buy a drink or whatever. And I was just gazing out the window looking at these blokes, and one of them stood out the front of the shop, and he's about 6 foot, bloody 8 without even blinking. And there's an old bloke walking up the street, and he's just wandering along. And he wasn't looking where he was going, he was just looking down at the footpath. And he realised someone was standing in front of him. And so his head's gone, "Jesus!" I just cracked up. And a lot of the old fellas are really worried that if I do go, they've got no real barber to go to anymore, Because all you've got is this new age barber now, which isn't what barbering's supposed to be. It's, you get a 5-minute haircut for $40, So.
You're not a fan of the new age?
Oh, look, some of them are very clever with their sculpting, but it's not hair cutting in a strict sense. Everything evolved, one time in the medieval time you would look like a tonsured monk or something, now it's, they're starting to go back to that almost. As of June this year, I'm going to drop Fridays off and go back to a 3-day week with the view that I can be able to carry on for a number of years yet.
Not going to pass the trade on to anyone else?
Well, there's to pass it on. No one wants to learn the old-fashioned trade, No, they all want the... See, a lot of these fellas today do some sort of academy course that lasts 5, 6 or 8 weeks. They're told they know everything after that 5 or 6 weeks, but all they are is the first year apprentice without the first year's practice. Yeah, it's just not how it's done anymore, yeah.